fundamentally because of his sense of professionalism and decorum. When we were sparing from the opposite ends of the political spectrum, when he was a special advisor on communications to former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, I was the most despised man in the then presidency. But in all fairness to him, he conducted himself with a great deal of professionalism, restraint, and decorum. And when the Presidential Election Tribunal delivered its judgment, that was the highest point of his career as a journalist. He was the running mate in Ogun State under the platform of the PDP in the last election. But he came out and robustly and profoundly elected to choose the path of professionalism, of nation building, and made very profound statements that went viral. Thank you so much, Mr. Abati, and we remain friends. The chairman of the occasion, I cannot dare to call him my friend. I will call him an elder statesman, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Right Honorable Justice Olukayode Ariwola, GCON. The Attorney General of the Federation and Honorable Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN. My noble lords of various jurisdictions, but I have to acknowledge the presence of my mother, Justice Binta Nyako. Members of the National Assembly present here, the leading lights of the legal profession in Nigeria, too numerous to mention. My boss, the national chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullahi Omar Ganduje, CMR. The authors of the book, Malam Yusuf Ali, SAN, and Dr. M.T. Adekilekun. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have to start my speech by acknowledging Ilorin. Growing up in Maiduguri in the 70s and 80s, there was a song that we used to sing. Mai tafiya za ka ina zani Ilori, zani in sai ta ba da goro da kuma turare Ilori. Ilori was an exotic place, was a unique place, a confluent city of ideas and nationalities. This is why we have a Yoruba man proudly bearing Malam Yusuf Olaolu Ali. As I said, Ilorin has a unique position in northern Nigeria. It's a great citadel of learning and tolerance, not only producing northern Nigeria's best SAN, AGF Abdul Razak, but gave birth to some of the leading lights and torchbearers in the legal profession in Nigeria. Wole Olani Pekum, Malam Yusuf Ali, Boyega Omolo, Bayo Ojo, Olorin Sola, Alhaji Aliyu Salman, late Ni Osho, Adebayo Adelodun, Roland Otaru, Lawa Rabana, Wahab Egbole, KK Elijah, to mention but a few. And the whole Kwara State gave birth to the nation. 3 attorneys general and ministers of justice. Bayo Ojo, now in Kogi, but from the old Kwara State. Muhammad Bello Adoki, and now Prince Latif. My lords, your excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it will be an understatement to express how deeply satisfying it is for me to stand here today in this capacity on this unique occasion. The two books offered by one of the most cerebral lawyers of our generation are on the two most relevant topics in our circumstances as a developing nation: the Supreme Court and the jurisprudence of the right to fair hearing, and public-private partnerships, an essential guide for stakeholders. I want to commend Mr. Wale Babalakin for giving a perspective on the importance of public-private partnership in this dispensation by quoting recent developments in the Indian Cricket League. Malam Yusuf Ali is a leading reservoir of legal knowledge, and especially with decades of his practical interaction and appearances at the apex court. History is unlikely to forgive him if he declines to come up with books about his beloved profession. The book will be reference material for our judges, lawyers, and law students on the development of the jurisprudence of the right to fair hearing in our Supreme Court from a legal luminary who lives in the tapestry of the profession. Together with some of his professional brothers here, Malam Yusuf Ali's mastery of legal proceedings is always a delight to watch in courtrooms. He has been my lawyer and friend for 20 years. And he's someone without thinking twice. I send in friends and brothers illegal challenges, and he attends to them without charging a dime. This is a testimony to the strength of our friendship. I actually call him my brother from another mother. The second book on the Essential Guide to Public-Private Partnerships is equally timely and very handy to government officials, practitioners, and other stakeholders. Certainly, I will read this book. In recent times, funding of public projects through collaboration with the private sector has been identified as an important tool of project delivery, especially infrastructure projects. And one of the cardinal points of the renewed hope agenda is delivering functional infrastructure in Nigeria. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, believes that social harmony and first-class infrastructure are part of the engine room of economic growth. He's an accountant by profession, a very brilliant man, almost a genius. And believe me, he is going to redefine the meaning and concept of leadership in this country. The yawning infrastructural gap is alarming, and we cannot shy away from taking the necessary decisions in order to attract private sector participation in this regard. According to estimates of the African Development Bank, Africa as a continent needs a minimum of $170 billion per year by 2025 to overhaul its infrastructure, with 2/3 of that being needed for entirely new infrastructure and the remaining 1/3 for maintenance, as largely as attested to by Mr. Wale Babalakin. How much do we generate in a year? The highest we had ever generated was $35 billion from oil proceeds in 2011. So we need that public-private partnership to deliver infrastructure to Nigeria. This challenge is a massive opportunity for investment, innovative funding mechanisms such as private-public partnerships. And these are handy, which Nigeria has since adopted with the establishment of the Infrastructure Concessions Regulatory Commission, an agency whose boss is right here with us, charged with the responsibility of superintending and regulating PPP endeavors at the federal level. Many states have passed laws to regulate PPPs and established similar agencies for that purpose. to impute vibrancy and reduce bureaucratic bottlenecks, the ICRC Establishment Executive Act 2005 is currently undergoing review. In our efforts to grow the economy, provide jobs and create wealth, the federal government will continue to encourage new ideas. I once again commend our brother and friend Malam Yusuf Ali, SAN, for contributing to knowledge. Thank you so much. But finally, before I go, I want to specially recognize the representative of the governor of Sokoto State. And I want to use my prerogative as the vice president to say that 2 million is a chicken pit. So I will use my prerogative to jack up the Sokoto State government fee to 10 million naira. And I know Senator Salih Mustafa is my friend. He's a high net worth individual. And if you dare to contradict me, I can even announce your net worth to this gathering. So I want to politely, but firmly request you to jack up your payment to 10 million naira. And conspicuously absent here are representatives of the Kwara State government. The governor is a man of honor and integrity. He travels alone with his backpack. He's very parsimonious, very tight-fisted. He's in Abuja, and probably that is the reason why he didn't come here, because he's afraid of parting with money. Again, I will use my prerogative to announce. I know how tight-fisted the governor is. I don't want to overstretch him. I announce the purchase of 10 copies of these books on behalf of my friend, the performing governor of Kwara. I have to praise the performing governor of Kwara for 10 million. I actually wanted to announce 20 million naira, but I am afraid he might have a mild stroke if I dare to do so. So an oil baron seated here, Toye Cole, the APC gubernatorial candidate in. Before I embarrass you, tell us how much you are. You are an oil baron. Again, Toye Cole is buying 10 copies for 10 million naira. You know, it's good to be the vice president. It's good to be. You can make announcements and people will toe the line.